What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd.
Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. But with that being said, oh, fuck me sideways. No, I did it right. Fuck. I second guessed myself. Leave it in. It's fine. Hope you had a good week. But with that being said, before we jump into our first topic, cheers.
Cheers.
That's why we have a pre-recorded intro.
You're doing so good.
I know. You would think after like 3 years or however long we've been doing this, I'd have it done by now.
Yeah, we're almost on year 4.
Fuck me.
Yeah. God. Still haven't gotten famous.
It's probably not.
Yeah, it's definitely not. That's okay. But before we get into our first topic, I just want to give a shout out first off to our newest member over at our Buy Me a Coffee, Mr. Dave Morris. Thank you for subscribing. Also, if you want to become a premium supporter, go to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. Get behind the scenes, exclusive merch, things like that. And also we have a second little show that we do there for our pre-show warm-up where we talk about random things, catch our buzz, so that we can be as charming as we are here. This week we talked about zombies because it's almost spooky season.
Yeah, so from now through Halloween, that'll be our topic, is something, obviously something different every week, but it'll be Halloween themed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Themes.
So as all of you hopefully know, we will be at Twin Cities Con in November 11th?
8th, 9th, and 10th.
8th, 9th, and 10th. Is your birthday the 11th?
That's
your birthday's the 3rd? 4th? When's your birthday?
The 3rd. Whose birthday is the 11th?
I knew one of them. I knew it was one of those dates. So we'll be there November 8th, 9th, and 10th, the whole weekend. So please, please, please come visit us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some trivia. We're going to be doing some live streaming. We're going to be giving some stuff away. We've already started working on a lot of that stuff for giveaways and stuff like that. So,
and we'll have merch that you can just buy, too.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of stuff. It's going to be a good time.
Will be a good time. And it's the week after my birthday, so come wish me a happy birthday.
Yeah, which is on the 3rd.
Yeah, inflate my ego. Now let's
it's me again.
Yeah, let's get into our actual first topic.
Whoopsie daisies. Okay, yeah, so we're going to talk about
Pre-show
Rings of
warm-up
Power.
worked.
Season 2, episode 4 and 5. This should get us all caught up here. And we're just going to... I'm just kidding. I was going to say it, but I won't. What you wrote down. I was going to say wing it, but I was just joking.
Well, you said it anyways.
And now I did.
But spoiler alert, also. Yeah. Especially if you haven't seen episode 5.
These last 2 episodes have been so good. And so, I'll let you talk about the thing that you're excited about. So, go ahead.
Well, there's just been a lot of fan service, but not in a cheap way. The big thing is, in episode 4, we finally see Tom Bombadil on screen. If you haven't read any of Tolkien's books, you're probably like, who the fuck is Tom Bombadil? But he's so influential to the story of, the Fellowship, especially for Frodo, and to Gandalf. I mean, he houses Frodo as for part of the time before he leaves the Shire. Before Gandalf goes to the Undying Lands, he goes and visits Tom Bombadil and sits with him for years as they discuss the nature of life. And we see him introduced finally. In, I think that's where the Shire is going to be. I don't know for sure, but it's just really cool to see him on screen.
Yeah.
Finally, finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
Well said. I think the big thing for me in these two episodes, it's hard to differentiate the two episodes because I watch them right on top of each other, and I know that this is in episode 5, but I'm just going to kind of bounce around back and forth here. But the doorway from Fellowship is they made the Elvish doorway that speak friend to enter, and they're like, "What's the Elvish word for friend?" And then it opens. That's in this episode. They made it as like a monument, basically. And then the king steals it to put it down in the caves because they find the creature
Yeah.
in the caves. The creature that is like a kraken-ish type creature that tries to drag Frodo and the ring into the
Yeah.
cave pond. I don't know what you call
Yeah.
that, but yeah.
Well, it's just outside of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Is
think.
in the mountains. She accidentally kicks the orb down there in the mines and finds it in there.
Well, yeah, but eventually by the time we get to the Fellowship, it's outside.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
So
in the show. I was like, no, it was
yeah, that it was still
it's
in there at that point in
connected.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't actually show the creature, but you hear it and then you see the water like rippling. Kind of like how when an alligator like growls, the water will like bounce off its back.
Mhm.
Like you see that happening, but they don't actually show the creature. But we know what it is.
We know.
That was cool.
That was cool. Um, yeah, and I just have to. I don't remember it from reading the books. I had to look it up because I watched the episode before Jake did, and then you're like, "Speak, friend, and enter." They showed the doorway, and I wanted to respond with the Elvish word for friend because in the movies, Sir Ian McKellen says it with like a weird inflection, so I always thought it was like Belloc. It's not. It's melon. He's like melon.
Malon.
I was like, okay.
Now, next time I watch it, I'll have to like pay attention and like see if I can differentiate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the season is done, I mean, it's about time for the annual rewatching
Yeah.
anyway. So
Once winter comes, then it's like I need the long movies. Braveheart, The Fellowship. Yeah, all those long like 3-hour movies will
yeah,
be definitely.
I always do the Harry Potter series, the Star Wars films, and then Lord of the Rings. Those are
We
my
yeah,
winter watches.
Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings are for me for sure.
Yeah.
I think I should probably make Nicole watch The Hobbit. Even though they weren't everyone's favorite, she still hasn't seen any of them, so
Yeah. It's just some of the things from the Hobbit films are things that should have shown up in this show.
Mhm.
Well, or there are things that were in the Unfinished Tales or the Silmarillion.
Oh, I actually have a question for you, and we can do it here
Yeah.
online on our podcast.
We'll see if I know the correct answer.
I assume you do.
I hope so.
Um,
Otherwise, I'm going to look like an idiot.
so the no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I want you to get it because I want to know. In the 5th episode, when oh God, the Sauron he's like, I'll make he has the conversation that he wants to make the 9 rings for the realm of men,
Mm-hmm.
and they disagree. Because what's his name? The other guy?
Celebrimbor?
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm gonna say no. I'm not making these. So Sauron's like, I'll make them myself. And then in that same episode, shortly after that, actually, the the girl puts one of the rings on and she disappears. And when they catch her and pull the ring off of her, they're like, "Are you okay? Like, what happened?" And she's like, "I was, in a cloudy whatever, like, whatever. There was a person there made of flesh, fire, and empty eyes or whatever, which I assume was Sauron, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that the one ring? Is that the one that Frodo ends up wearing? Because that's
No.
the like he disappears when he puts that one on, but I don't think anybody else did for any of the other rings in the.
No, not for any of the other rings. They will eventually use some of the properties of that new style of ring because they're like, it's a new style that we're working with.
Mhm.
Which is why the nine uh, ring bearers of men, the wraiths and stuff like that,
Mhm.
can see in that
Oh, okay,
realm
okay,
too,
okay.
but they don't necessarily disappear when they're wearing them.
Gotcha.
Um, and I mean, when Sauron wears the One Ring, he doesn't disappear. It's more of a, I think it's something of along the lines. I don't know this for sure, but kind of the way that I interpret it is that it's someone that wasn't meant to bear the ring. If they wear it, then they show up there.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
like the rings weren't made for the halflings, you
Hmm.
know. So when Bilbo or Frodo wears it, they turn invisible and are there.
And they get like kind of transported to like a different plane,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
still in real space and time, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But there's like the wraiths are in that realm, and they can obviously they stab Frodo
yeah.
in the
They can like
Fellowship while he's in
see
that
it
realm. Yeah.
because their
Yeah.
rings have that same property.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
But the rings were still made for them, so they're
That
corrupted to
makes
where they
sense.
can see that shadow realm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because they're like, what are they? And then Aragorn says they were once men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. See, I knew you'd know the answer for me.
I'm glad I did.
That was cool. And then I think
As to why the others disappeared, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's because that the rings weren't made for them.
well, and then now the one guy is starting to catch on. I don't think he's catching on to that it's Sauron, but he's catching on to the fact that he's evil and his plans are
Correct.
not good. Yeah.
And
Huh?
he's corrupt, and you know
Yeah.
that, and even part of it where he's like, we didn't change anything. Why are the dwarves being affected by the rings more? And Sauron, uh, even though he handled the mithril, so like he cursed it more or less,
Hmm.
plays it off of the deceit that Celebrimbor had when he's like, I'm telling the High King that we're shutting down the forge.
Hmm.
And then they made more. And he's like, well, now you're complicit in this because the reason that they're corrupt is because you made them under false pretenses.
Hmm.
So now he's like, well, then we have to make more to make it right because if we make more, you know, 3 was the perfect number, 7 isn't quite right, but if we make 9, that's three threes. We can
Six, six,
rebalance it.
six.
Yeah. Hail Satan. But that's kind of how it goes. You gotta have the fingers really close together to show how metal you are.
No, that's stupid. It's literally 666. That's what your fingers shape when you do that. Did you not know that?
I was today years old.
Oh,
That's
that's
so
funny.
much cooler.
Oh, it's funny.
After this, I'm gonna live out my T-shirt. For those of you
Oh,
that don't
it's
get
like,
that, go to YouTube.
oh man, that is hilarious. Because you're so much more into metal than I am.
I know,
That makes
but
me
I
laugh so
I
hard.
came up through the metal scene with Christian metal,
Hmm. It's like POD. I'm just kidding.
like Haste the
Throw,
Day, August
throw
Burns
down.
Red. Yeah. Do you mean Shinedown?
Mm.
Throwdown?
Throw down.
Never heard
My
that.
mom, no, my mom bought me. I also was in that. I didn't. I listened to that kind of music. And then my mom found it, and she was like, "Oh no, you can't listen to this." So she went to the fuck. I forget the name of the store, but it used to be next to Old Country Buffet in Burnsville.
Yeah, eventually it
It's like
turned to Lifeway, but it was like
Suncoast or something like Suncoast Video or something.
Sunshine.
Something weird like that. But it was like an all Christian store,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like Christian rock bands. And she bought me just an arsenal of like Christian like CDs, and I was like,
That's
and the
how
one
I got a
one of
lot
them
of.
that was actually pretty good was, I think Throwdown. I think was the name of the band.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's where I found Haste the Day, August Burns Red,
Yeah.
Under Oath, all those bands.
Under Oath, yeah. I wish I had. I didn't know about Under Oath until we're way off topic here.
Until they
Sorry.
stopped being Christian.
I didn't know about them. Well, I don't think so. I didn't know about them until I think I found out about what's the side band again?
The Almost.
I heard the Almost first, and then somebody told me that was the drummer from Under Oath, and then I started listening to Under Oath, and I was like, oh, these guys are dope.
That was about the time that they were like, let's not talk about God in our songs.
Yeah.
And then they fully went the other way, and then they had like an explicit album. Yeah. Well, they got kicked off of Warp Tour. This is so off topic, but they got kicked off of Warp Tour in 2008 because the lead singer, the screamer dude Spencer, um, was people walked in while he was hanging out with like MXPX or NoFX, whichever the non-Christian one was, um, doing cocaine like in their trailer or on their bus, and people are like, "But you're supposed to be Christian." He's like, "I'm not Christian.
That has nothing to do with being Christian.
Cocaine's awesome." What?
I assume NoFX. I didn't know MXPX was Christian, but
Mm-hmm.
NoFX, there's no way NoFX is Christian.
Then was their Christian counterpart.
Gotcha.
So Rings of
Anyways,
Power.
Rings of Power.
Another thing that you were excited about, I was too, but was we see the Ents.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Because we in the episode 4, Theo gets taken by something, and they don't show what it is,
Yeah,
and it ends up being the Ents. It was
yeah,
cool.
it was cool.
I love the Ents.
There's,
They're so fun.
yeah,
Like even in the movies, they're a lot of fun. They're some of my favorite parts because they're like they don't want to join the war, but then they see that the forest is getting destroyed to make orcs, and then they're like, let's fuck shit up, and they do.
so awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Ents are dope. I think I snapped you, and I was like, thanks.
Yeah, you did. You were so excited. I was like, oh, I wish that we could watch these shows like at the same time because I was also excited, but I was like, he's an episode behind. Don't say
Yeah,
anything.
I'm caught up now.
Thursday, I'm gonna snap you in real time. Then you won't
Um,
be watching it on Thursday. It's fine.
oh yeah, in so episode 5 something big happens. Oh fuck, I should have pulled up the cast list. Hold on. You
Yeah.
tell something and then I'll talk about what I was just about to talk about.
Well, I think it's in episode 4. It might be the end of episode 3, and we just breeze past it. But in Numenor, the coronation of the new monarch happens, and it was supposed to go to the queen that is now blind. You know, her father was king, but I think his name is Farazan. he's kind of like the shady dude, um, is working against her, gets people to rally for him instead. Even Isildur's sister steals the Palantir. Oh, that was something I meant to look up before we started this episode about the Palantirs, the orb.
Oh yeah.
Um, and she's like, she's using this elf relic to make her decisions. So people are like, boo, this sucks. So they go for the other dude, and then it shows him trying to find the Palantir, and it's not there. Just like,
Oh yeah, she said it changed, right? Her vision of it changed.
yeah,
Yeah. Because ever since he did something. Yeah. Um, all right. Did you have anything else on that, or do you want to look it
no,
up while I tell?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
look up the Palantir because basically she would get visions from the Palantir.
Mhm.
Um,
And
but
in every one of her visions, their home was destroyed until something happened, and now that, or since that guy like entered her life or something like that, or touched it or whatever, I don't remember. It's different. And she's like, now my visions have changed.
yeah,
But yeah, I just watched that episode. But the guy I'm talking about, he plays Cohen. His name is Yasen Zaitz Atur. Uh he is the guy who is like he's got like the he's like maybe mulatto or maybe
he's Maori
African American. Oh, okay. And he's
because
got
New
like kind of the
Zealand.
long curly black hair.
Hmm.
And he starts an uprising because they go to like a holy place and trash it, and he fucking snaps and he's like, "Forgive me," and he like tackles the dude to the ground and snaps his fucking arm, which is
Yeah,
dope.
the usurper's son,
Yeah.
Farazan's son, is the one that gets jumped.
And then his captain is like, "Stop," and he's like, "Okay, I'll stop." And he turns around, puts his hands in the air, and that dude stabs him in the back and kills him.
Yeah.
And I was super bummed because I thought he was going to be like a really big part of the show. He's not. Spoiler alert.
Okay, so I I was right as to why I wanted to look this up because the Palantirs, these dark orbs. We see Saruman using one in the original trilogy.
Mhm.
Um, they're more so as a means of communication over great distance. The elves developed them, but the Queen Regent, no longer Queen of Numenor, was like seeing visions of the future, and this is what kind of bummed me out. Is that's not how the Palantirs worked. You could see like past events from like great distances that you know it's kind of like a Google search about things that happened, but they don't show you the future.
Didn't hold on though, because didn't was it Pippin that touches it in Lord of the Rings in
Yeah,
the trilogy, and he sees something from the future. He tells Gandalf about it.
no, he sees Sauron's eye, and
Is that what it
Sauron
was?
saw him and was like, "I see you," because
Oh,
he
that's
thought
right.
that the
Yeah,
halfling that had the ring. So he sees a halfling. He's like, "Oh, I found you, bitch."
yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why they
No,
ran
you're
off.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
Um,
Cool.
Sorry, I had it pulled up, and then it was just like a three big things that happened. Like obviously Pippin sees it, um, and but also Denethor, the rat-looking dude that was like next to the king of Rohan, and then just at the very end of the table it says results, and then it's like killed themselves. We don't see Denethor kill himself in the movies. I forgot that happened. Yeah, he throws himself off the top of Saruman's tower. But that was a little bit of a bummer. What?
So sorry, I had to do it to you. I had to. Yes, yes. The Planeteer and Elfin Orb in Lord of the Rings can show the future. Pippin saw a glimpse of Sauron's plan to strike Minas Tirith first, the home of the White Tree. I knew I saw that. Aragorn saw Sauron, Arwen dying, and Sauron speaking in black speech when he looked into the Orthanc stone. So yeah, you can see the future.
Huh. Okay. Then I
Eat a dick.
It's fucking funny.
Speaking of eating,
You son of a bitch.
let's talk about our second. We've been on this for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our first sponsor of the night. Our first sponsor is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. Okay, you nerds, it's time for Trivial Nerd Suit. This week's question is for Jake. It's provided by moi. If you would like to submit a question to try and stump one of us, please reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com. Use the contact form. Mention who the question is for. This goes to a third party. That way we can't cheat. But Jake cheated. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I don't even know what your question is yet.
Well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, I got it up.
Okay. In the film franchise Child's Play, what is Chucky's real name, and what was his serial killer alter ego?
Well, his real name was Charles Lee Ray. Alter ego, Chucky.
No, like his serial killer, like.
Oh, fuck me. What was his serial killer name? Like Boston Strangler or something like that?
One part of that is right.
Boston or Strangler?
The Strangler part.
I don't know where they're from, so I don't remember.
So you want the hint?
I don't think I need that. Feel like I nailed it. I just got the city wrong.
It's not a city.
I got the state wrong.
No, it's he was known for choking his victims near water. So, Strangler, but
Give me the hint.
that was it. He was known for choking his victims near water.
Bayside Strangler? I don't fucking know. What is it?
Minnesota's the land of 10,000 what?
The Lake Strangler?
And then what's another word for beach?
Another word for beach? Didn't I say bay? Down by the bay? They have some hay?
Whoa.
No?
Bay is a lakeshore strangler.
Lakeshore Strangler?
Yeah.
I got that. I got that right.
With how quickly you got Charles Lee Ray. Yeah, you got that.
And I knew it was something Strangler, but I didn't know it was. That's kind of dumb. I feel like the Boston would have been better. I don't know what city they were in, but
You know, the Scranton Strangler. You know,
yeah, this guy, yeah, fucking Creed.
Toby.
I thought it was Creed.
It was never confirmed.
Toby would make more sense. He's a fucking creep. But I saw something. This is way off. This is off top. Well, kind of on topic. I saw that Craig Ferguson, no, not Craig Ferguson, Craig Robinson's character, Daryl,
Mm-hmm.
in his office in one of the episodes, he has like a little like figurine hanging from like a rope, like thumbtacked to his like bulletin board in his office in the warehouse.
Hmm. Interesting. Now
Who
I
was
want to
it?
go find it.
I got that right. That counts.
Well, again, if you want to try and stump one of us, because we're doing a terrible job of stumping us, reach out to us. Use the contact form. If you do stump us, there'll be some free stuff coming your way.
Hmm.
And if you fail to stump us, that giveaway is just going to grow.
You owe us money. Or oh yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
You
Yeah, if you
owe.
fail to stump us, you have to join our Buy Me a Coffee.
Yeah,
You should do that anyway.
you should. Let's get into some nerd news.
Yep.
Well, first off, we're going to be at Twin Cities Con. I don't know if anyone's heard this yet. We still don't know where our booth is going to be. We should probably know in the next month. They're supposed to let us know like 2 to 3 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
And then once we know, we will post that shit everywhere.
Yeah. Um,
But come visit.
yeah. We got some news for the Venom 3 movie. Again, neither of us are excited about this movie in particular because the past two have been okay and then shit.
Yeah, the
But
only good parts were what was shown in the trailers.
yeah. But we have Norman Reedus playing Null, which is kind of the king of the symbiotes. Um, and that could be cool because one, the movie's not going to be great, but the character might be cool. And Norman Reedus has signed on to play Null again in another movie. We also know that this is the end of Tom Hardy's Venom. That's hence the name Last Dance. Um, so we might, and we know that there's a symbiote in the MCU somewhere. We just don't know who that is yet. Um,
Yeah.
so we could see Noel later on.
Which would be sweet because in the comics, he is terrifying.
Yeah.
He is a fucking menace and a half. Um, where'd my notes go? Okay. Also, we have confirmation that Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, and Jeremy Renner will all be sticking around post Avengers Secret Wars. Uh, Thor 5 will release after that. That will probably be the last time that we see Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye Season 2 will be after that as well.
I'm sorry, did you say Hawkeye or Hot Guy?
Yep.
Both are
Uh,
true. Okay, yeah.
and then Mark Ruffalo, because now Marvel and Disney now have the rights back for Hulk. So we might still get a World War Hulk.
We are getting a solo Hulk movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
we just don't know what.
they need to do better by Hulk
Yeah,
because they've really like Shrek'd him hard.
didn't know that could be used as a verb, but it made sense.
Oh, nobody has anybody done that? You know when Hulk slams the door open and hits Tony, and knocks him. That's why they don't end up getting that Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Somebody should do that. Somebody wants to.
Yes. Yes, they
Yeah.
should.
Anyways, there is a little bit of Hemsworth has said that he knows why Thor is crying over Deadpool's body in Deadpool and Wolverine, and he said you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. But there is a plan for that scene.
Mm,
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
that is pretty cool because it was just like footage from Thor: Dark World.
Yeah, they said they have a plan for it,
I'm here for it. I'm ready. I want it.
or he's just being a twat and like telling us what we want to hear. But I don't know.
Probably that, but
Yeah.
still.
Or sorry, what friggin' Australian people say? They say wanka. He's being a wanka about it. All right, move on. I feel bad.
They use a different word. It starts with a C. Uh,
Kunt.
Oi. Uh, take it.
No, you go. I was just copying you.
Okay. Um, we also have our. Well, they're set to direct Spider-Man 4. It's Des and Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi.
Which is
And
fucking dope.
yeah, great fight sequences.
Could you imagine those like fight sequences like that, but with Spider-Man? I am so fucking here for that.
We kind of got glimpses of that with No Way Home, like on the balcony,
Hmm.
and then at the very end on the Captain America shield in the Hudson. Yeah,
Yeah.
so stoked, so stoked.
Mm. We know that Marvel wants to bring back all of the ground level heroes from like the Defenders. Um, I don't know if any of that is confirmed or not. I feel like we also mentioned it last week, so if we did, I'm so sorry, but we couldn't remember. Um, but yeah, so we might get Finn Jones back. I know we're getting Kristen Ritter back. We know we're getting John Bernthal back. Obviously, Charlie Cox. So why would they not bring back the other two? That'd be weird not to.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah. Just do better. Do
yeah,
better.
and
Luke Cage,
I
love
think that
Luke
they will.
Cage, love Iron Fist, but just do better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like do so much better.
Especially with
Iron
Iron
Fist.
Fist. Yeah. Season 2 was not good. But hey,
Hmm.
uh good for was it Jessica Chenwick? Did I say that right?
Who played Kathleen?
Yeah, because she turned down the role of Shang-Chi's sister in Shang-Chi because she had high hopes that she was going to return as Kathleen later on.
Yeah,
And good on her.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like all those actors in those roles.
Hmm.
So I definitely want to see more of them just done right.
Better. I thought the first season of Iron Fist was fucking dope. The
Hmm.
second season they did some weird shit.
Yeah.
Didn't like it at all.
I never watched season 2
Don't
of Iron Fist.
unless they are confirmed to come back, you might want to.
I will.
No. But
I
then
just
again, if they're doing it like obviously Daredevil is Daredevil Reborn, so like maybe none of that shit's gonna even matter.
yeah.
I have no idea. Like, yeah.
Well, continue.
So no, I did that one. You go.
Okay, fine. Uh,
Jeez.
the day that this episode airs is the same day that we get the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along, and also for the finale, we will get 2 episodes on October 30th, which is pretty sweet. Just in
Yeah.
time for Halloween.
Oh,
Let's go.
speaking on this just a little bit. So I know last week we talked about, or last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about how Elizabeth Olsen was no longer returning as Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
That is no longer true from what I read today. Apparently, Elizabeth Olsen confirmed that she will be returning as Scarlet Witch.
Oh,
I don't have a source. Both those statements from either a week ago and now today could be wrong. I'm so sorry, but I'll call it rumored.
Yeah,
that she will. And that would be nice
that
because
would
she
be
played
nice.
it very well and she's easy on the eyes.
Gorgeous.
Um,
Mwah.
and the other thing after, so this episode airs on Wednesday, like Chad said, that's when Agatha comes out. The day after that, we also get the Penguin series on HBO.
Yes.
So, which is rooted in the Batman universe with Pattinson, sorry. Um, and then it's also a direct lead up to the Batman too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is dope.
It'll be sweet. Matt Reeves
I
knows what he's doing.
I heard we were gonna get Batman in the show, but now I read earlier that we're not gonna get Batman in the show. I bet there'll be like some heavy references, but I don't know if the show has the budget to bring in Pattinson for
Yeah, at best, it might be like a cameo in the finale
yeah. Or
or
maybe
like a post
a
credit.
Bruce or like a Bruce Wayne
Oh yeah.
cameo rather than Batman. Because I think the early reports were that they at the time they don't have the rights for Batman because of James Gunn. So they couldn't actually have Batman in the show, but they could have Bruce Wayne in the show
But then how
as
are they
long as
doing
they don't call him Bruce Wayne.
the Batman 2, you know?
And three, because apparently Matt Reeves said that James Gunn gave him the go ahead to finish his trilogy
Ooh,
because it would finish before they bring in James Gunn brings in. I don't know.
who knows?
I don't fucking know. James Gunn's a twat. Sorry, Gunn. Sorry,
Yeah.
wanker.
Yeah. Speaking of wanker, no, I'm just kidding. No way to go around that one. But let's talk about our other sponsor. That's kind of what we have for news this week. Uh,
The perfect layup.
pass
Cunt.
and
I mean,
swish.
wanker. I mean, speaking of,
Uh, our other sponsor this week is Ray's Energy Drinks. 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 crash. Lots of great flavors. If energy drinks aren't your thing, or you have a heart that might explode from it, they have so much more to choose from. Like protein packed desserts, supplements, drink mix ins, things like that. So listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Ray's Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Ray's Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Okay, friends, we're going to talk about a new movie that is in theaters called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Fuck, I meant to start that segment with me going juice. Uh, it's fine. Went and saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice in theaters, and now we're going to talk about it. But spoiler alert, if you really want to go see it in theaters, highly recommend it. It was a good time. That's enough time. What are your thoughts, Jake?
I loved it. I'm a kind of a basic bitch about the Tim Burton stuff. I really love everything.
Hmm.
It was a there was some things that just weren't necessary. I love Monica Bellucci.
Yeah.
I mean, she is gorgeous.
Mwah.
Um, but her storyline in the movie was completely pointless, and her storyline was through and through. From the beginning, they made her seem like she's like this big bad, and then she gets defeated in like 2 seconds at the end of the movie. Like again, we already said spoiler alert, so I don't even feel bad about that.
I mean,
Um,
but that is kind of on par with the first Beetlejuice film because he finally shows up and then he gets eaten by a sandworm pretty quickly in the first movie.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's different. That's not he wasn't. He was the big bad in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
They like made it's like my crazy ex-wife, and she like kills all these people. She's a soul sucker. She's like killing all these people and like trying to find him. And then
Hmm.
at the end, they're like, "Oh my God, she's here!" And then done.
Yeah. Oh my
And
god,
you're like,
she's here. Take Justin Thoreau
yeah,
and get
the
dead.
two villains of the story. Let's just yeah. I don't know. I really really enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of fun. It was funny. I think you and I have s- the same favorite part of the movie. Um, the second F word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is
Because they actually bleep it to keep the
instead of
PG
yeah,
13.
yeah. He's like, "What the beep?" Instead of, but the first one is definitely a fuck.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Um, I really enjoyed it. It was predictable.
Yeah.
I think we were talking to each other throughout the movie. I think we both pretty much had the storyline nailed. But
Yeah. It was it at least it hit the nostalgia,
mm,
but it was kind of the same movie, just more time spent in the afterlife
yeah,
instead of the house.
yeah.
Like the house was in the first one the house is like a character in its own.
Mhm.
And in this one it just is there.
Yeah. It was fun. Um,
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. I mean, plus Jenna Ortega can't go wrong. Winona Ryder, she just plays the grown-up version of her.
herself.
I mean, weird, right? Like, oh my god.
Monica Bellucci, Willem Dafoe, Danny DeVito had a pretty fun cameo in there.
The first death.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe just playing a dead action actor.
He's a he was a actor from like a cop series, and so they make him like the
The detective.
police chief in the underworld, and he doesn't really know what the fuck he's doing, which is hilarious.
It was very fun.
Bob didn't deserve it though. Poor Bob. The only loyal Bob.
Oh, yeah.
All the other ones run away. He's like, everybody get back to work. And they're like, nope, we're escaping the afterlife. And he stays behind and he dies.
Yeah.
Poor Bob.
Because he was the Beetlejuice decoy.
Just the same clothes, but just a giant with a shrunken head.
Yeah.
So sad. It was a lot of fun. I, and it's crazy because, I mean, what's like a 30-year gap between movies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Was the first one was 86?
Something like that. I can look it up.
86 to 88 is my guess. And then this one, obviously, 2024. So Keaton
88.
was 88. So Michael Keaton was in his 30s in the first movie, and now he's 71, 72.
You're asking a lot from me, my guy.
I didn't ask you to look it up. I'm just doing math here, man.
Yeah, he would have been late 30s, 37 when the first one came out. And now, yeah, 73.
73. I was close. I was close.
Yeah,
But
it's a
anyways,
30-year gap in the movies,
yeah.
but 36 years between releases.
Which is crazy because he doesn't look I mean, there's a lot of makeup and there's the crazy wig and whatever, but he's just with all that on, he just doesn't look any different than he did in the first movie.
No. Only when it's like a close up of his face can you actually
You can
see
see
like
like
some of the
the
wrinkles in his.
yeah.
Yeah, dude looks great.
Michael Keaton's the shit, man.
Plus those teeth. It's got a great smile. Well, I made it weird.
This took a weird turn. Uh, yeah, the premise of the movie is it's a generational movie. So you got Catherine O'Hara, obviously grandma. You got Winona Ryder, mom, and then we got Jenna Ortega, granddaughter. And it's really centered on those three.
Yeah.
Are you frozen or are you just holding
Oh,
really still?
I did freeze. Oh no.
Oh,
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you just
Oh,
fine.
cool.
You're just not.
Yeah, I see
It
how frozen
hasn't
I am.
fixed it. It
Yeah.
hasn't fixed it.
Oh my god, I even turned off my camera and it's just still a frozen picture of me.
Oh no. Well, we can stop talking about Beetlejuice and just go to the closeout here, and you can fix your camera.
Oh, my entire Zoom is frozen, so maybe not.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can't click on anything.
No way. Oh, bummer.
Hopefully this is well, the audio is still recording, so there's that.
Yeah. And you're not making like a creepy face or anything. You're just very still.
I look it's called being stoic. Thank you.
Okay, well, do you have anything you want to add to Beetlejuice, or should we close out?
Well, I mean, uh big thing is Catherine O'Hara just capitalizing on any sort of tragedy. Just through and through, she's still the artist. And this is really bothering me that it's still frozen. But then she does the whole thing where she gets these like very venomous snakes. She says that she paid extra to have them defanged so she can do like an art piece paying respect to the Egyptians at her late husband's grave. And they're not defanged, and they bite her and she dies. And it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And the way that they got around not having I can't think the actor's name that plays the dad in the first one.
Yeah, Rooney from
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller. Yeah.
It's just hilarious. When they show like a flashback of how he died, it's claymation. And then when they show him in the afterlife,
Jeffrey Jones is his name.
when they show him in the afterlife, he was eaten by a shark. So the top half of him is missing.
And just like when he talks, like blood spurts out of like the artery in his neck.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Jeffrey Jones.
This is so annoying that it's still frozen. We should go ahead and close out.
Yeah.
We might have to back out of Zoom while I let my computer fucking fix itself, but at least the audio is still going. So
Yep.
let's close out of this episode. Unless you have
All right.
any final.
Nope, let's close out.
Okay.
But before we close out this episode, we are going to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you got? What do you got? I hiccuped right in the middle of that.
Not the hiccups. That's something I don't have. Against better judgment, I watched the new Crow movie.
The whole thing?
Nope. The edibles kicked in, and I was like, "This is a good place to stop," because I was not feeling it to begin with.
Or
Within
Skarsgård.
I mean, if it wasn't called The Crow, I might have been more intrigued by the story
Hmm.
because it looked cool, has a cool premise, but it's just not The Crow, you know?
Yeah,
Like it's not about demons and the devil and stuff like that. And
never was.
exactly. Exactly. They missed the
Oh,
entire point
so
of
this
the
one's
movie.
about demons and the devil?
Yeah. Like the
Oh,
big bad basically was like, "Hey devil, how about you let me go back to the world and I'll live forever and I'll just send you souls." So he like corrupts innocent people that wouldn't go to hell and enter Skarsgård. Next time,
huh.
baby.
That does sound dumb.
Yeah, it's just it's not The Crow. They could have called it something different. Use the
Spawn?
shh.
Because that's the premise of Spawn.
Shh. Oh my god, they're creating a crossover. I wouldn't put it past them. Again, I
I
still
would
haven't
not watch. I'd be so mad.
I
I would
haven't
not watch it.
finished it either. Um, yeah, it's just a bit of a bummer because what's there is really good, but knowing that it's The Crow just kills it because you're like you missed the point.
Hmm.
Come up with your own name. Don't use a crow for the
Right.
symbolism.
I don't know why Hollywood is just beating the shit out of this remake for The Crow. This is like the fourth or fifth one,
Yeah,
and all of them since the original have been trash.
it's because the first one was so good,
I don't
and
know.
they're
Yeah,
like,
I just don't understand it.
we can recapture that. It's like, no, you can't. You created a cult classic. You can't. It's like there's talks about them wanting to remake The Craft, and it's like you can't. It's it's special because it wasn't like fantastical. It's just that
Mm.
the story was done so well, and it
They're,
created the cult following after its release. It's
they're
not
trying to
like it was
make
a huge
a
blockbuster.
they're trying to make a female-led Fight Club remake as well.
I I'm all for strong women characters. That's based off of a fucking book. Like, if you're gonna remake Fight Club, be more true to the book. Because the movie wasn't that close to it. Because I was one of those dudes that was like, oh, Chuck Palahniuk, let's read all his books. Or, I don't know, pick a different Chuck Palahniuk book to make into a movie.
Hollywood's just like out of ideas, I feel like, and they're just remaking shit that doesn't need to be remade.
Well, it's not that.
Like you said just a minute ago, if you want to make like a female fighting movie, fantastic. Do that. Just don't call it Fight Club.
Yeah, make
Don't
it,
remake it.
make a few
Just
changes.
make your own thing.
Yeah, and yeah,
If it didn't have the word Fight Club attached to it, I'd be like, that looks pretty cool. And I'd probably go see it. But if you're calling it a Fight Club remake, I'm just gonna be like, this is stupid.
because immediately you're going to compare it to the original.
Which was perfect.
Yeah,
As far as as close as it comes to being a perfect movie, that's one of them.
yeah. Or if you're gonna remake it, stay more true to the source material.
Yeah.
Don't just remake it to gender swap. And this makes me sound bigoted, but that's not what it is. Like I would love to see a movie like that led by
Hmm.
females. But
Yeah,
it's not Fight Club.
exactly.
You know, like
Even Jenna Ortega even said something about because somebody asked her like if they made a Edward Scissorhands gender swapped remake, like if she would star in it, and she was like, no. She's like, the movie's fantastic. Leave it alone. Like I'll
Yeah,
star in something else. I can be a badass in anything else. Just come up with something new.
yeah.
Quit like yeah. Don't. It's because it's not a. It's you're not remaking. You're almost like tarnishing like the name of something that was so good by just being like okay like. And let me make it clear first before I finish saying what I'm saying. And you and I agree on this. Is we love strong female lead roles. I love a
Yeah.
well-written character. You do that, you can do anything you want. And I love that. I'm here for it. I'm voting for a female president of the United States of America. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm here for that shit. I'm not sexist at all. But if you're gonna do something like this, you can't just be like, hey, this did really well in the 90s. What if we just do that again and just make it all chicks? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not creative. That's just fucking like damn near plagiarism. You know what I mean? Like I think gender
It
swapping
it de-
and remaking roles is just dumb.
yeah, and I think you said it right. It like tarnishes the original, and the remake's not going to live up to it. But now
Hmm.
you've damaged two pieces of property. Like
And I'd
it,
say the same thing in reverse as well.
one
Like
hundred percent.
if there's like a female led movie that I really like and they were like, "Hey, you know what would be awesome? Let's redo it, but let's do it with Brad Pitt and George Clooney." I'd be like, "No. Leave it
Yeah,
alone. It's a good movie."
like a gender swapped Legally Blonde. I
Yeah.
fucking love them. Or Mean Girls. You know, like
Yeah, I would be pissed if they try to do a Mean Girls with guys. Like that would make me mad.
yeah. And I know
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
those
That's a
are
good way to put it.
those are not the best examples because like a lot of the gender swapped remakes are like the action, the rough
Action.
and tough,
Because
and
they
then
want
like
them to be, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're
and
putting them in like the tough
women
roles,
can
which
definitely
is great.
play those roles, and they do.
Woman King. The Woman King. That movie
I
kicked
still haven't seen it.
ass.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a fucking Viola Davis, all female, like role. They're like the army is all females, and
yeah.
they fucking kill it, dude. The movie is so good, all female leads. Like I love that, and it was the nice part about it is it was original. It wasn't like, hey, let's just make Gladiator, but instead of Russell Crowe, here's Jenna Ortega. Yeah, sorry to keep beating the shit out of Jenna Ortega here, but yeah.
We just talked about Beetlejuice.
I
I
know
get
it's
it,
just like right on
and
the top
she's
of my
up and
mind. Yeah.
coming. You know, like I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just stop doing remakes for the sake of the cash grab. And you said like, oh, Hollywood's out of original ideas. I very much disagree that Hollywood's out of original ideas. I just think that they're picking and choosing because they're like, oh, what if we just do this again?
Name a good original movie that's come out in the past 5 years. Original movie, not a
I
continuation or a sequel or a remake.
I really liked The Creator.
That was cool.
Um, Good People with Florence Pugh. I really liked it.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it
I'll
was just
never watch it again, but it was a good movie.
yeah.
Fuck that
Um,
movie.
it was emotional and it broke me
I
and
don't
I
know if it's
cried.
really original though. That storyline has been done over and over again. It's
But
just for
it was well,
tears.
if that's in along those lines, if you're gonna take a story that's been done before, do it well. Don't just do it because you're gonna get paid.
But they all think they're doing it well.
Do they?
I don't know. Some of them. Adam Whip.
Oh, I see that you didn't fully finish chewing or swallowing your chips from 10 minutes ago. That's gross. Um,
I
that's what
like
you
to
get.
let them sit in my cheek and get soggy before I finish eating them. It's
Because
like
then it just
a
turns into
potato
mashed
paste.
potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes. Yum.
We spent a lot of time on that. I also finished Terminator Zero,
I'm not done
which
with it
was
yet.
awesome.
I'm close.
Mm,
I'm close.
so good. And then because we went and saw Beetlejuice, I watched Beetlejuice.
Like you have to say it in a row.
Uh, I'm not going to.
Pussy.
Beetlejuice,
Um,
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I should Photoshop in
yeah.
Michael Keaton in the background. Not as
Um,
Beetlejuice, just Michael Keaton.
um,
What about you?
well, I'm working on Terminator Zero. I'm on like episode 5 or 6. There's only 8 episodes, I think, so I'm
Hmm.
almost done with it.
Are you liking it?
Um, huh?
Are you liking it?
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. Really, really good. I really want to punch that dad in the face though. Malcolm. God, he's the worst.
Hmm.
Like, what a piece of shit father. Like, maybe it's just because I'm a dad now, but he's the fucking worst, dude. He's like, here, go find my kids. I gotta go back to work.
Yeah.
Like, what, dude? Um, he knew where his kids were going. He could have easily just went and grabbed his
Yeah,
kids
he
and brought
literally
them.
told Mizaki, like,
Yeah,
they're going here. Go get them.
yeah, he's the worst. I think the show is fucking awesome. I hope there's another season of it, even though I haven't finished this season. Um, I'm wrapping up season 1 of Shrinking for the second time in anticipation for season 2, which is coming out soon. Um, and then what the fuck was the other one I had?
Bad monkey.
Oh, Bad Monkey. Yeah. Love that show.
That's on.
Did you watch it? Are you caught up yet? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh
we,
yeah,
we
we talked
talked
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, I know. Steel Trap. Uh
Clearly.
Oh man. Yeah,
How do
that's
you.
all I've really got going on as far as TV goes right now, other than like the things we've talked about. Obviously, I'm watching Rings of Power, um, Terminator, trying to get Terminator done before this week because now we got Agatha and fucking
Penguin.
Penguin
And
in
then
the
Rings
same
of
week.
Power still for a
On
couple.
Thursday, that's what when oh shit. Yeah, Wednesday is Agatha and then
Two
Thursday is
episodes of
Penguin
Agatha.
and is of what of Agatha, yeah, and
Yeah.
then Thursday is Rings of Power and Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of TV to cram into 2 days. Whew.
I'll find a way.
I'm sure you will. Single, living alone.
No real responsibility other than keeping a dog alive.
I'll get it done before the weekend. It'll be fine. Um, but that's really all I got going on as far as my honorable mentions. So,
Okay. Well, for our listeners, if you stuck around this long, sorry about the technical difficulties where you just saw a frozen picture of me and heard me talking and the mouth was not matching up. But if you'd like to become a. What?
what?
What kind of joke did you make?
I didn't.
Uh-huh. If you want to become a premium subscriber, please check out our Buy Me a Coffee. It's buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. You get some member exclusive merch, behind the scenes, our pre-show warm-ups, and it's there for not just our show but our other podcast, which is Kobolds in the Basement. It's a D&D live play, so you get some behind the scenes there too, which is pretty sweet. If you don't want to do that, because I know it involves giving us your money, just like, share, subscribe wherever you find the show. That helps us out so much. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors,
Shout it from the rooftops.
even if they don't like if you park slightly in front of their house. Sometimes.
Was that just last weekend? That was last
Yes, it
weekend.
was.
Oh man.
100%. They're the worst. Um, Also, our website, allthingsnerdpod.com, got a lot of stuff going on there. and it's a new site. And if you need help building a website or with your digital marketing needs, reach out to Marty at digikettech.com. He's a wizard. He knows how to track stuff, and it's so good. That's about it. We love you. Thanks for being here. This has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.